Phase 1 of the April qualifier finished yesterday, so let's reflect on it, see how the bracket for the next stage might look like, as well as talk about the whole world's format for this year. So, from April to July, there will be an open qualifier ladder going from the 1st to the 7th day of each month. The top 128 teams from the ladder will qualify to the monthly qualifier, which will be played during a weekend around the middle of a month. And the top 6 teams will make it to the monthly final, played during a weekend towards the end of a month. I really like that each month will start with an in game ladder phase because it almost ensures all the big teams will make it through. It's inclusive for the casual players and it seeds the teams for the next stage of the tournament. While big teams might find this first stage to be a bit tedious, they can all easily make it through if they put in enough time and if they don't massively underperform. We can see that all the S, A, and B tier esports teams are there and will go through. So, how many teams did actually play the ladder? It seems like 2,477 teams fully completed the registration, 456 teams ended up with a score higher than 1,000, 871 teams had a score of less than 1,000, and 1,150 teams had exactly 1,000 points, with more than 95% of those not even playing a single match. These numbers are a lot higher than they would be if the qualifier was not in game, but they honestly are a little bit disappointing. While it is inclusive, I think Clash of Clans can do a lot more to incentivize casual players and have less conflicts for them. People are playing clan war leagues and random wars for ores right now, and they know their chances of getting something out of the World Championship are almost impossible. These teams who played 20 plus wars, even though it wasn't going well for them, are absolute heroes in my book. I think it would be nice if everybody got something like 30 ores for winning a war to provide some more incentive. People are not playing CWL every month because they feel like competing in that every month. They play for the medals. And I know the schedule is the way it is, probably both because they want to have every qualifier started and wrapped up within the same calendar month, and because they like to run events which may have some event troops or spells in the last two-thirds of the month, but I feel like it should have been done differently. So, stage 2, the monthly qualifier. What you see on the screen right now is what the bracket would look like if all the teams were seeded according to where they ended up in the ladder. This stage will be a real bloodbath with only 6 out of 128 teams making it out in the end, and there will be 6 upper bracket rounds and 9 lower bracket rounds, and this will also be when the timed hits start. I won't comment the matchups right now because if even one team gets disqualified, it will all look different. But I don't expect too many teams will get disqualified before this round because the identity checks will be done only after stage 2. There could be a scan done by Supercell for TOS breaks, but I don't expect it will disqualify more than 10 teams, mostly because a lot of the players who would have been disqualified by it have already been DQ'd before the warm up scan, in which over 200 teams were disqualified. I would have preferred two separate stages of competition for going from 128 to 6 teams, or at least heavier checks to be done before stage 2, but it is what it is. It will just suck that somewhere in the middle of the bracket you lose to a team that later on turns to be ineligible. And those documentation checks won't be for passports and visas yet. It will just be determined that you are an individual of an appropriate age, living in a country that has COC in the App Store, and that you actually have different people playing on all accounts. Then, in stage 3, the two teams who made it through the upper bracket will have the advantage over the four teams coming from the lower bracket. The teams will now need to have cameras set up, and in the end, the winner will get the golden ticket, while the runner up gets a silver ticket. The last chance qualifier will have 8 silver ticket winners, 4 from the World's qualifiers and 4 from the community tournaments. One of these tournaments is already confirmed to be ESL Snapdragon Pro Series, while the 3 others are unknown right now. I very much hope 2 of them will be real community tournaments like CWL and GCC, while other possibilities are KSO, Clash Masters, and maybe some unexpected ones. You can see the scenarios for passing down silver tickets in the rules on the screen right now. The system is similar to the one in 2021, in which, for example, Tribe had a wildcard ticket from ESL, since both ATN and Tompi already had tickets. And then when Tribe won a silver ticket in the World's qualifier, And since MCS also had a ticket already, the wildcard ticket passed down to Penta, who ended up 5th in ESL. The World's Finals will feature just 6 teams this year, 4 from qualifiers, 1 from China, and 1 from the LCQ. It is unfortunate we went from 8 to 6, mostly because I think this really reflected in the difficulty of getting good sponsorships for top teams this year, but at least it's not as bad as it got in Clash Royale. The reduction in the number of Worlds teams could mean that both of them will be joined together with other games at an esports event, maybe with Brawl Stars in Helsinki or with other games like in Hamburg in 2019. And that's all I got for you right now. I will make another video talking more about Stage 2 bracket once it's confirmed. Until then, see you, Chiefs.